Nice. So thank you to everyone who have joined this evening. As I said just then, we are talking about snacking, okay? And where it's potentially beneficial and where we potentially want to avoid it or counteract it a little bit more and implement some strategies to help us snack a little bit less, okay? I'm going to share my screen briefly to show you what we're going to be going through this evening. Nice, here we go. So as I said, we're going to compare beneficial and counterproductive snacking, all right, to your goals. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how we can build beneficial snacks, ones that can actually nourish us and keep us full and help benefit our lives or our goals. We'll talk about emotional snacking and how this can potentially be counterproductive to our goals and even our health in some instances, okay? And then we're going to talk about some ways to work around emotional snacking, all right? Because all of us do it. It's nothing to be ashamed of by all means, but we do need to be aware of when we are emotionally snacking and of ways that we can work around it, all right? Beautiful. I'm going to start off comparing beneficial and potentially counterproductive snacking, all right? Snacks can be good. They can nourish us between meals. It's another opportunity to consume nutrients, okay? They promote satiety for longer. So when we eat lunch, let's say, great, we're full. We feel great for a few hours. But then dinner isn't until 7 p.m. and we start getting rumbly stomachs. We want to eat something. What do? Some people can ignore it. Some people can keep busy. Other people start reaching for things, start getting peckish, all right? So if we strategically place a nutritious snack in the mid-afternoon, say 3 p.m. blunder or blues, some people like to call it, then we can hold ourselves off until dinner time and we can avoid overeating later compared to if we didn't snack at all and we just build up this massive urge of hunger, then we may overeat at dinner time, okay? So snacks can help us work around potential overeating later, okay? If planned properly, all right? And performance at work for you to be able to focus on the million tasks that your boss gives you. Performance at school or at university. No one likes trying to listen to a lecture or do an assignment or homework or whatever it is whilst starving. Okay, it's very hard to focus. You may be going to your PT session or about to do another gym session or another sporting session, whatever it may be. It's very hard to exercise when you're hungry, when your energy levels are low. Okay, so snacking can benefit you in those circumstances, okay? Those are examples of productive snacking or nutritious snacking or ways where you can snack and benefit yourself, okay? So snacking isn't bad by any means in that context, all right? On the other hand, there's counterproductive snacking, all right? Where we eat when we're technically not hungry, okay? I spoke about it a couple of weeks ago. We may be hungry, when we're hungry, our stomachs start getting rumbly. We may feel a little low on energy and a bit irritable, okay? That's a sign of physical hunger when your body wants food, okay? Appetite, on the other hand, is when you aren't necessarily hungry and when you are eating, usually due to emotional reasons, okay? You could be stressed about work or uni. You could be bored at home with nothing to do. You could be angry at somebody or upset about something, a fight you could have just had with a partner or a family member, okay? Whatever the emotion may be, you may eat to cover up that emotion temporarily, okay? Or occupy and give you something to do. That's very short-lived. It seems effective in the short term, but what happens when you're bored again? What happens when you're stressed again? What happens when you're sad again? You see what I mean? Snacking in that context isn't a sustainable solution and may actually be counterproductive to your goals, whatever they may be, by risking you entering an energy surplus, or in other words, eating more food than your energy requirements, okay? So long story short there, snacking can be beneficial if you're hungry for food or if the food's strategically planned, but it can also be counterproductive to your goals and your health if it leads you to eat too much, okay? If you're snacking for emotional reasons, all right? Before moving on, I'm just going to say that all of us emotionally snack sometimes. I emotionally snack sometimes. It's not a bad thing. You shouldn't be scared if you do it. You shouldn't feel bad about yourself if you do it. It's natural, okay? It's just important that we become aware of it, that we become self-reflective and identify when we are potentially emotionally snacking, and we look for ways around it or ways to counteract it, okay? And that's what I'm going to get to eventually, okay? Let's move on to now how we can build beneficial snacks or nutritious snacks for us, all right? Now, I'm going to come off the bat by saying this is completely dependent on your energy requirements, okay? And your hunger levels, okay? First example, I'll use one end of the spectrum. We could have an athlete, a competitive athlete who's about to go and do a 3-hour training session, all right? A snack for them could look like a big bowl of cereal with banana and honey and milk, okay? That's a pretty big snack for someone with large energy requirements, okay? I'm going to be talking in the context of the everyday person who wants to maintain their weight and strategically eat something to control their satiety, okay? Or it could be somebody that's trying to lose weight and they just want to control their hunger levels in the mid-morning or mid-afternoon, okay? First thing we want to look at is, does your snack contain a source of protein? Why should it contain protein, Alex? Many reasons. The first one I'm going to mainly focus on here is satiety, okay? Protein helps to keep you full for longer amounts of time, okay? If we're just having a bag of rice crackers, or if we're just having a container full of celery, let's say, for example, all right, I'm not saying that they're bad snacks, but they're not going to keep you full for very long, okay? Protein included in your snack can help you feel fuller for longer, okay? That's why I'm going to prioritize that in terms of planning your snacks, okay? It offers you other benefits. The other main one as well is helping you to build and maintain muscle mass in your body, okay? So let's say you've done a PT session in the morning with your PT. You've had breakfast after that, and maybe you've had lunch. Every few hours or so, to help you recover, you want to be providing your body with a source of protein, okay? Every 3 to 5 hours or so. So just to recap on why you want to include protein in your snacks, one big reason is satiety, keeping you fuller for longer. A second big one is to help provide you with a constant supply of protein to promote muscle mass retention and potentially muscle mass recovery, all right? Beautiful. We're going to move on to the next one, which is fiber, okay? Why do we want to include fiber in our snacks, Alex? First one, similar to what I said about protein, fiber helps you to stay fuller for longer, okay? It prevents you from wanting to eat sooner is another way of saying that, okay? Another big benefit of fiber, I'm sure many of us know, it promotes healthier digestion for you, okay? Helps to keep you regular on the toilet, and it helps to keep your food moving through your digestive tract, okay? So if we put the pieces of the puzzle together here, including a source of protein as well as a source of fiber in our snacks, it's a perfect recipe, pardon the pun, to keep you fuller for longer and prevent you from reaching for, I'm going to say loosely, junk snacks, okay? That won't keep you full for long, that are easier to overeat, okay? So you're probably thinking, all right, Alex, I should include protein and fiber in my snacks. What can I do about that? What are some examples? All right. Many different examples of snacks we can have. There's no right or wrong. Okay. Some sources of protein that I like to include in my snacks, or that I like to recommend to people just because they're pretty common and pretty versatile, are yogurt, a good quality, high protein Greek yogurt. Chobani Fit and YoPro are both two fantastic examples of high protein Greek yogurt on the market that don't add any sugar and are pretty low in fat, okay? They come in convenient little portable tubs as well as squeezable pouches for you to take on the go if you need to, all right? Eggs are another fantastic, if you boil them, they're another fantastic, really versatile option to carry around with you. Just when you crack the egg open, make sure you tell everyone you're having an egg and you didn't pop one off because they smell a little bit funny. Tuna or salmon, okay? You can get canned tuna, canned salmon, or you can use smoked salmon if you like, if you're willing to spend a bit of extra money. They're both fantastic sources of protein on the go as well. All right. Cottage cheese is something that's very underrated. Okay. It's not for everyone. Not everyone loves it, but it's, again, versatile. You can take it anywhere, as well as being very high in protein and pretty low in fat for a cheese. Okay. So if you're willing to try, if you like it, cottage cheese is a good option. Now, a couple of plant-based options. We can snack on tofu. If you cut it up into little cubes and cook it, you can take that around for a nice portable little snack. Or beans and legumes. You can get them, or you can always get them in big cans, but they come in little snack cans nowadays. You can get canned chickpeas and, I believe, kidney beans as well. Okay. So those are sort of big range of food-based options that we want to prioritize. Okay. For convenience sakes, every now and again, I wouldn't recommend you doing it all the time or having all of your snacks in this form. But protein powder, whether that be whey protein or a vegan plant-based protein, can be a convenient option sometimes, okay, to shake up and have as a snack, all right? Again, prioritize food first, the options that I listed first. But every now and again, if protein powder is going to be convenient, whether that be whey or a vegan-based source, to shake up and have on the go for it, okay? It's another great option. So there are some protein options listed. Fiber now, okay? When you're thinking fiber, you're thinking plants. Vegetables, chopped up carrot, celery, capsicum sticks, okay? Fruit. Fruit is a fantastic, versatile, on-the-go snack that contains a lot of fiber, okay? I already said before, beans and legumes, as well as containing protein, they also are a great source of fiber, okay? And whole grain crackers, all right? So a quick swap could be plain white rice crackers for Vita Wheats or Ryvitas. They both contain a fair amount of fiber too, okay? Now, I've listed some protein and some fiber options. I've written some examples here of how you can combine them together into a snack. Tuna or smoked salmon on some whole grain crackers. You can have some cottage cheese or a couple of eggs with some chopped up vegetable sticks, all right? I mentioned them before, little cans of chickpeas or kidney beans are fantastic, all right? Yogurt, like I said before, Chobani Fit and YoPro are both fantastic sources of protein in a nice little portable format. If you want to add something to those, you can have some fruit with the yogurt, or you can dip a couple of Wheat Bix into the yogurt. That's another example, okay? Beautiful. I've covered some snack options or how to build healthy snacks. Has anyone got any questions at all before I move on? You're welcome to yell them out loud, or you're welcome to pop them in the chat.
I have a question. Sorry, You can't see my video. I look disgusting. It's a Tuesday night. Just in what I do snack on mostly is homemade popcorn.
Yeah.
Just with olive oil. Is that and I have a lot. I really shouldn't have this much, but is that a good source of fiber?
Popcorn's a good one. All right. Thank you for bringing that up. That's one that I forgot to mention here. Popcorn can be a good option. All right. You said homemade popcorn in that example. I'm going to start by addressing some of the commercial brands out there. All right. So let's say, the ones that you put in the microwave, those ones. Some brands or some options are quite high in fat. They add quite a lot of oil to them. All right. If you're choosing those, I would choose ones with minimal to no oil added. Okay. In the little snack ones, the Cobb's brand is a pretty good brand. The plain, the sweet and salty, and I believe the cheese one's okay. They're pretty good options. The little snack bags. Okay. They're great. They're very voluminous and they do help to keep you full for a fair amount of time, but I'd still pair it with a source of protein. Okay. In regards to your example, the homemade popcorn can be a great option. Okay. I just watch how much oil you add. Okay. So let's say you're putting in one of those standard bags of poppable corn. All right. I would say if you're going to make, let's say, 4 servings of it, as an example, or a serving being a couple of decent sized handfuls, aim to add no more than a tablespoon of oil. Okay. Just because if we're adding lots of oil, that'll increase the fat content. Keep going with what you're doing. Good option, but just watch how much oil you add. Aim for about a tablespoon.
Okay, I was going a bit overboard.
Yeah.
I'll cut it down. Thank you so much.
Right. No stress at all. No stress. Let's move on now to emotional snacking. All right. Again, as I said at the start, we all do it. It's a normal thing, nothing wrong, but we need to address it and be self-reflective about it and build a little bit more awareness. Okay. Now, usually when we're emotionally snacking, something's triggered it. Okay. Whether that be stress at work or with university or school, whether you've had a fight with somebody like a partner or a family member or a friend, whether you're bored in isolation, like most of us are right now in Melbourne, when you're sitting at home, there's not much to do, walk backwards and forwards to the fridge 20 times, open it up, okay? No matter what it is, when we're talking about emotionally snacking, we're usually more often than not hungry, okay? And emotions are driving us to eat for short-term satisfaction or as a perceived short-term fix to our problem that we have, okay? Now, it's important that we address that because because like I said just then, it's a short-term fix, okay? So let's use the example of boredom. We're bored at our desk, not much to do, go to the fridge, grab a chocolate bar, eat it. Great. 10 minutes later, we're bored again. Get back up, go to the fridge, grab some jelly. 10 minutes later, go and grab some corn chips. You see what I mean? It's a repetitive cycle where we're occupying ourselves, briefly, bored again, go back. We may be stressed. Go, grab a bag of chips, eat it. Short-term stress relief. Oh, wait, I've still got this work report to do. Oh, wait, I've still got these things to do. It's not a long-term fix, okay? So the first point of call that I'm going to say to many of you, whenever you're going to stressfully eat or boredom eat, remind yourselves, have a little moment where you tell yourself, this isn't fixing my problem. This isn't fixing my emotion. Eating's not actually going to help me in this scenario, okay? That's just a little thing to say to yourselves in the short term, okay? But it's definitely not that simple, okay? Why do we want to address emotional eating? Because if we're continuously relying on food to suppress emotions, whether that be boredom, stress, anger, upset, whatever it may be, it can increase our risk of eating too much total energy, which over time can increase our risk of weight gain, which can lead to many physical, mental, social health problems down the track, okay? So you're probably thinking, Alex, I struggle quite a lot with emotional eating. What can I do about it? Where can I go with it? What can I actually do? All right. The first point of call that I'm going to say, and this again isn't a fix to the problem, but some low-hanging fruit that I'd like to describe it, or a first pretty quick box to tick off, is to actually control what's in your pantry, what's in your fridge. If you go shopping once a week and you're putting chips, if you're putting chocolate, if you're putting cookies, if you're putting all of these junk snacks that you usually emotionally eat on, you're giving yourself the opportunity to go to the fridge, to go to the pantry, to go to your drawer and to pull these out and to snack on them, okay? You're giving yourself that opportunity. So instead, don't buy them. Don't buy the large packs or the multi-packs of these snacks that give you the opportunity to be able to do that. If you want to treat yourself once or twice a week, buy a single chocolate bar, buy a single bag of chips. Say on Friday night when I watch the footy, I'm going to have this one chocolate bar. Or on Sunday during the day, I'm going to have this one meat pie. Treat yourself, enjoy it, look forward to it, but don't give yourself the opportunity by buying big bags of snacks that you can keep going back to over and over and over again. All right. That's just one, as I said, low-hanging fruit or one quick box to tick. All right. But I understand that it's more complicated than that. And Uber Eats or our car or the supermarket's always accessible to actually go back and buy these things. All right. The next time I'm going to use the example of being stress eating, that you feel stressed and you go to reach for something in the pantry. I want you to stop. I want you to sit down and I want you to write to yourself, speak to yourself, question, is this actually going to help me? How long is this food going to relieve my stress for? Is this actually fixing the root cause of my stress? Is it writing this report for me? Is it sending these texts to these people that I need to do? Is it finishing this assignment? Is it having this difficult conversation with somebody that I'm stressed about having? Ask yourself these questions, because more often than not, the food isn't actually going to solve the problem for us. Okay. And once you realize that, you go, okay, well, maybe I don't need this food. Maybe I need to actually take a step further and think, what's going to actually help this emotion for me? Okay. Again, I'm using the example of stress. We're going to take one further step forward. What can I do about this stress? Okay. Again, in the example of a work report, it's not as simple as just finishing it like that. So what can I do to counteract my stress in the short term associated with this work report? Talk to somebody about it. Express your stress. Express your feelings of stress. Try and get some help from somebody, whether that be advice about how to go about the task, how they usually deal with stress. All right. Engage in other self-care activities that help to relieve your stress. Okay. Stand up away from the stressful activity. Go and give yourself other self-care that doesn't involve food and alcohol, whether that be a relaxing bath, whether that be your favorite music, whether that be pestering your partner for a shoulder massage, whatever it may be. Remove yourself from the stress for the time being and engage in some form of other stress relief activity that doesn't involve eating food. Okay. That's probably going to help you a little bit more sustainably for a little bit longer than what eating extra food or drinking extra alcohol may do. Okay. I'm going to use another example now, which I haven't even mentioned yet: exercise. This can be a double whammy here, okay, for stress relief in this example, where we can counteract feelings of stress, counteract other emotions, okay, a little bit more sustainably. The after effects of exercise will help you feel more positive, okay, so will help you continue those feelings of positivity for longer, as well as expending energy, okay? So let's say you have emotionally snacked earlier on in the day, or you did just previously, just before exercising. You can go on to actually expend energy and reap the health benefits from exercise. Okay. So I've just rambled on quite a bit there. I'm going to summarize or recap what I said. The first thing, if you're an emotional snacker or a boredom snacker, whatever that may be, don't give yourself the opportunity to do so. When you're going shopping, try not to buy larger amounts of foods that you can repetitively snack on, okay? Whether that be big bags of corn chips, whether that be multi-packs of chocolate, whether that be big containers of cookies or whatever it may be. Instead of buying those things which are giving you the opportunity to keep going backwards and forwards between, buy single serve treats, whether that be a single chocolate bar or a single ice cream, whatever it may be. And that only gives you those select opportunities to treat yourself with and to enjoy. Okay. The next step is to, when you're feeling like you want to go to the fridge or you want to go to the pantry, stop, take a deep breath, sit down and think or write to yourself, what's triggering these emotions? What's actually causing me to want to go off and eat? Okay. And what else can I do instead of eating? So the second step would be, is eating actually going to solve my problem? Is eating actually going to fix how I'm feeling? Okay. Then the third step from that is engaging in some form of other activity. Okay. Whether that be self-care, whether that be stress relief, whether that be entertainment, occupying yourself, that doesn't involve eating to try and suppress these emotions. Okay. So I hope that's somewhat helpful as a step-by-step process that you can run yourself through the next time you may feel the urge to emotionally eat or boredom eat. Okay. But I'm going to finish off by saying, as a big, quick reminder, that it's nothing to feel ashamed about. All of us emotionally eat. We don't want to feel guilty if we do slip into an emotional eating episode, because it's normal and there are ways around it. Okay. It's just about being proactive It's about facing the fact that you are doing it. And it's about reflecting on why and what can I do instead. Okay? Make a list to yourself of different activities that you can do instead of eating. Okay? Or whether it be consuming alcohol or drinking a sugar sweetened beverage. Okay? I'm going to recap and then I'm going to stop talking because you're probably sick of hearing my voice by now, and I'll offer a question opportunity. Okay? So we started off by talking about beneficial snacking that can offer us performance benefits like focus or exercise performance, okay, or promoting satiety for longer, versus counterproductive snacking, which is usually done out of things like stress and boredom or tiredness or anger or upset, whatever that may be, okay? So we broke down the stigma around snacking. It's not a bad thing. It's just sometimes it's appropriate and useful. Other times we probably don't want to be snacking, all right? We then moved on to talk about how to build a healthy snack and how that should revolve mainly around a source of protein, okay, and a source of fiber, okay? Those two things help to keep us fuller for longer, okay, and leave us less likely to keep going back for junkier snacks that don't keep us full for very long, all right? Third thing we spoke about was emotional snacking and some potential triggers for it, okay? And why emotional snacking isn't a bad thing, but why we probably want to work on it and counteract it moving forwards, okay? To avoid its potential negative effects, right? And finally, just then, I spoke about a step-by-step process, okay, of not giving yourself the opportunity to emotionally snack, sitting down and reflecting on why you're having the urge to do so, and then making a list of other activities or other things that you can do instead of eating, okay, when you're feeling the urge to emotionally snack, all right? They're probably going to give you more sustainable benefits rather than a quick fix, putting food into your mouth and then feeling that emotion 10 minutes later, okay? I'm going to stop rambling now. If anyone's got any questions, please pop your microphones on or pop them in the chat. I'm happy to answer them, okay? I've got a question now in the chats. For plant-based cheeses, do you think they are too high in fat and not enough in protein? Would it be something to stay away from when healthy snacking? Plant-based cheeses, let's use the example of almond feta or macadamia cheese, okay? Just as an example. They're low in protein, so they're not going to offer you much of a source of protein, but they're offering you some healthy fats, okay? In this example, almonds and macadamias are both sources of unsaturated fats, which are good for your heart, for your cardiovascular system, okay? So my answer to that question is, we don't want to be basing our snacks around those plant-based cheeses, okay? Because they are quite low in protein and fiber, but you can add small amounts of them to a fiber and protein rich snack, okay? So for you, Jess, an example of that would be a bowl of kidney beans or a bowl of chickpeas, lentils, whatever that may be, okay? Providing you with protein and fiber, and then you can sprinkle some plant-based cheese on top for a bit of flavor and some healthy fats, okay? Does it answer the question?
Yeah, it does. Thanks,
Yep.
Alex.
No stress. All good. Second one, hey Alex, can you recommend a good brand for high fiber crackers? My two favorites are Vita-Weats. Vita-Weats are fantastic. Okay, they offer you a fair bit of fiber. And Ryvitas. They are also a good source of fiber. Okay, Vita-Weats are a little high in salt. So if you want a lower salt option, Ryvitas are probably a little bit better. But both of them are great sources of fiber. Okay, so to repeat, that's Ryvitas and Vita-Weats. Okay, no stress. Any other questions in the chat, or if you want to pop your mic on before we wrap it up this evening? No. Thank you very much for joining this evening. I hope you've learnt something about snacking, and I hope if any emotional snack is in there, I hope I've offered you some potential solutions, okay, or some things to try out to try and counteract your emotional snacking. All right. Take care of yourselves and have a very nice week. And more burn-ins, we are almost there. Okay? Keep going. Bye for now.
Thanks, Alex.
No stress. Thank you.
Thank you.